to you from Hemlock Farms mailroom with faithful Gunner. He's taking a break right now, showing off. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the Hemlock Farms mailroom and how we got to be here and the mode of delivery that we're using. Years ago, when Hemlock Farms was first started, there was a real estate agent, and he was on the corner of Forest Drive and Route 739. He held all the mail there. He had, little mailboxes and stuff, and the carrier that delivered to 739 would go and drop off the mail there. Forest Drive was one of the original ways to get into Hemlock Farms, and most of the houses down towards that end were built there first, since it was theirs, and later on, of course, the rest of Hemlock Farms got developed. So he had his delivery there, and then they seemed to get too big. So the next location was the Hemlock Farms Volunteer Fire Department that is located on Hemlock Farms Road. So they got to be about 50 mailboxes in the early inception of Hemlock Farms, and there were fascinating details. There were women that lived here that were not postal employees that actually delivered the mail. And they have quite a great amount of stories and things that they did that was pretty cool. So after the firehouse, approximately 1990, we needed a new space, a more permanent, viable location for our growing community. And that's how we landed in this present location where we are right now. Came over with about 250 active mailboxes. So by the time I walked in here, it was pretty much set up the way that it is now, except the mailboxes themselves were very small. They were approximately like 3 inches by 3 inches, and one day's volume could not fit into the mailbox. So you had a lot of part-time residents at that time, and the Hemlock News itself was approximately 4 to 6 inches longer. So you'd be walking down the aisle trying to deliver the mail, and it would stick out so far. So you have to remember, at this time, from 1990, we didn't have parcels. We were in the business of being a letter company. If we had like 20, 30 packages, we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do with them? So we continued to grow as a community. So what happened was, since one day's volume of mail did not fit in the mailbox, I started working here 25 years ago. So I had asked the board and management at that time to please give us more mailboxes and to give us larger mailboxes so we could keep up with the times. Apartment-sized mailboxes just didn't fit the scenario right now. So for about 3 years, 2003 to 2006, it was just like, it just didn't work out. I asked and asked, but it just didn't happen. So in 2006, I believe it was in May, we finally got the approval, and now we're back to where we are at this point. At this time, now we're in the present day mailroom. What's going on right now with the mailroom is that this is the desired mode of delivery. How we got to be the mailroom is because we started out as a part-time delivery. Hemlock Farms itself did not want mailboxes in front of houses because it was basically a part-time community. So between the Postal Service and Hemlock Farms, they decided that this was going to be the designated way. Hemlock Farms was very, very gracious in building us a building in a centralized location in a 4,500-acre gated private community. The Postal Service agreed to this. So basically, even though Hemlock Farms owns these mailboxes, they are technically cluster boxes of like what you see outside of other communities that have parcel lockers there, and unfortunately, they as well go to their local post office, Milford, Dingman's, as for all their parcels. So what happens now is with us, the window hours technically do not exist. So everybody's supposed to go to Hawley to pick up their packages. So as you know, we don't have parcel lockers, we have window service. So unfortunately, it's limited hours, but I'm going to get in the next session that we do, and we have this talking, I'm going to get more into the parcel locker situation, the zip code fiasco, as well as the delivery. So the mode of delivery is what we have now, is what Hemlock Farms and the Postal Service decided that was going to do. Right now, with everything that's going on with the Postal Service, it's not feasible to have, it would take about 5-6 carriers where they can pay one of me instead of having 5 or 6 to do that. And in new private communities, they don't have house-to-house delivery. They have cluster boxes. So there is always the option of having cluster boxes by the front gate of the community, but you would still have to go to Hawley to pick up your packages. So this is where you're going to be seeing in the lobby of the mailroom, the steer barn, maybe the administration building and other facilities around. You're going to see the proposed mailroom addition that's going to come across. So why do we need this? Well, basically we're out of room. We deal with 1,500 parcels on a slow day, and from August through December, which is our peak holiday time, we deal with about 3,000 packages a day. Where do we put them? I'll get more into the parcel locker thing later on in the next session, because that's definitely going to play into it, how it unfortunately does not work for the Hemlock Farm situation. So in this edition, what is going to happen is you're giving more parcel space for the Postal Service to effectively and efficiently deliver and streamline all deliveries. So you'll find that UPS, FedEx, they're not coming into the communities as much as they used to, and it's much cheaper to ship through the Postal Service, hence we're getting more and more parcels. So the addition is a very, very necessary thing to happen because we're out of room. It will also give us, if we do need more mailboxes, we can just put them in, and as the community continues to grow to a full-time community, we can, you know, take advantage of that extra space that we're going to have, and we're already one and done, final building, and we're all set for the future. So the only other thing that I want to discuss is, well, how's if we don't get the addition, what's going to happen? And it really, really bothers me to have to say this, because I'm just not this way, and it's going to sound harsh, but there will be no window service, and unfortunately, everybody will have to travel to Hawley to get their packages. So why that really bothers me is because sometimes not everybody gets packages that are legitimate packages. Let's just say there's some kind of pre-sorted standard solicitation and somebody sending you a pair of socks to donate to the thing. I'd hate to see any of the members drive 37 miles round trip to go get something like that because it doesn't fit in your mailbox. So there is no other option. If I'm out of space, this is what the Postal Service will be deemed to do. So it's not a threat. It's just a fact. It's just data. The mere volume and the packages that we get, we really are out of room to be able to service you as well as we have in the past. The last thing that I want to say is, are you going to be behaved now and stay here put? Okay, so Gunnar agrees, so now I can finish my conversation. We're going to take the last section that we're going to do about this is we're going to do a question and answer. So if you could fill out a jot form and submit all your questions, whether they'll be about the mailroom, whether they'll be about mail, whether they're about the addition of itself. Alan Sweetman will be joining me 2 weeks from now, and we're going to be discussing and answering all your questions, no matter what they are. And if I don't have the answer on the spot, I do promise all of you that I will follow through and find you the answer that you need. So in closing, I just want to say thank you to everybody for utilizing the United States Postal Service. If you come up with some great ideas or whatever it is that you have on your mind, please feel free. We're here to help you, and this is a service, not an amenity, but a service to the community. and we want to continue giving you great service. So thank you for joining, and everybody have a fantastic weekend.